Hey everyone, happy Monday. I am so excited to be live here with you. And as we get started, I am just going to take a second and pin this video up to the top of the group. So hopefully it will make it easier for more friends to be able to find us, but you never know. Facebook likes to do its thing. So as you are hopping in and joining me, take a second and say hi. When you see me, let me know that you are watching. If you'd like, let me know that you're here, where you're joining us from, and then we will get started in just a second. All right, we've got Shoshana says hello. Hi, Shoshana. I'm so glad you're able to watch. I try so hard to vary the times of our events. So I've been going live kind of in the evenings a lot, and sometimes I try to slip one in during the day. So here we are. It is Monday. It's 3 o'clock here in New York. And a bit of a hectic day, a lot of running around, a lot of things happening. But I'm so glad to take this pause and take this time to connect with you all. It means so much to me. And I don't know if I said we have Millie is joining us from Braintree, Massachusetts, and a friend says, hey there, y'all, from North Carolina. And Shirley says hello from Tennessee. And Debbie says hello from Central Pennsylvania. And hello all from Michigan, from Donna Smith. And Sunny is joining us from Vermont, and we have a hi from New Jersey. And summer is great for teachers to join in the afternoon. Yes, I know. Teacher schedules are hard during the day. Obviously, you can't just sit and watch a live stream when you've got a classroom of kids in front of you. I say you teach them to knit and make it part of the curriculum. What do you think? And checking in from Virginia, and Shoshana says, I'm from Eastern Pennsylvania. So I've got a lot to chat with you all about today. So I am going to dive in and share my screen. Is that what I want? Yes. Okay. So I kind of outlined what we are going to talk about. The first I want to talk about is how incredibly proud I am of all of you. We'll talk about our knit night. We'll have a peek at the giveaway prizes. I'm going to do those at the end. We will have some progress party. I didn't get to celebrate everyone. So if you're not included in today's progress party, I promise you'll be in the next one. I saw a lot of activity happening as I was coming in the door and getting ready to go live. So don't worry, you're included. I am proud of you too, even if I didn't get a chance to add your picture today. I have a special invitation for you all. And then at the very end, we're going to give away 5 prizes. And I am really excited about these prizes. Shoshana said, I would love to teach knitting and crochet to my students. I just learned towards the end of the school year, unfortunately, that my children are in middle school and they have a knitting club. And I thought that was so cool. So it was, already wrapped up at the end of the school year, but I can't wait for September to start to reach out to the teacher that runs that club and see, if there's anything I can do to help support them. So I'm excited about that. Even if it's just, yarn that's sitting in my stash that might be useful to students. So let's talk about how proud of you all that I am. So I am proud of everyone who has taken charge of their handmade holiday gifts. I'm proud of you for starting early. I'm proud of you for even thinking about it when it's been like 100 degrees or more in a lot of parts of our country, of the world. So I am so proud of you for even thinking about Christmas in July. I am proud of you, even if you have not picked up your needles or your hooks yet, but you're just making plans, because by just even those making plans and searching up for patterns and all of that kind of stuff, you're already making progress. And I hope that you can see that in yourself, that difference, that you are getting organized, and all of those things will make this so much easier as you go. And I said in one of my emails earlier, I said that handmade holiday gifts, we don't want them to be, a race to the finish line at the last minute. we want to take the time to be able to enjoy them, to put our love into those gifts and to enjoy the process, to enjoy the journey. So, I'm part of our Handmade Holiday Challengers. I am very proud of our brioche students. I saw in one of the pictures, but I didn't get to grab it, that shout out to Connie. I think I saw 3 of our brioche earwarmer projects that you are working on, that you've completed, that and those I think are going to be gifts. So I was so thrilled to see that not only did you like that pattern enough to make it once, but that you made more. And so that was so exciting for me and all of you who, not just those of you who have taken on this brioche workshop and been successful, but more than that, I'm proud of those of you who have struggled and persevered and kept at it and kept going and kept tinking and frogging and whatever you needed to do to get back on track. And for all of that, I think that you should all be celebrated. We also have some more friends joining us. Hello from Iowa. And hello, hi from Pennsylvania. And Shirley says, I've started once a month knitting group in my home. There are 6 of us, hoping to add more. I think that is so wonderful. There's something so special about knitting or crocheting together with others, working in community, even if you're not working on the same project, but you're working together and you're there to support each other and to help each other. So that is such a wonderful thing. I have hair in my eyes. Now I would get an eyelash, right now. All right, we're going to keep going. If I blink a lot, that is why. Okay. So I also wanted to take a second and talk about our knit night. So we had our first knit night for the Handmade Holiday Challenge, but everyone who was on my email list was invited. And I sent out, I think, 2 emails. I sent out one Saturday morning and then one a little bit before we got started. So if you didn't get that email, search your inbox for knit night. It should be there. We are going to have a second one. It's going to be, I guess it's a week from today, on August 7th. We're going to do it in the evening at 8 o'clock Eastern, so that those of us who work, those who work during the day, will be able to hopefully get home from work in time, have dinner, and do all of those things, and then have some time for themselves to spend some time together with other knitters and crocheters, like-minded friends that have, similar thoughts and feelings on knitting. So that's going to be in 1 week on Monday the 7th, and I will post about it again all over the group. There's an event started. You can RSVP. It'll give you a reminder in Facebook. And also keep an eye on your email, and I will share the Zoom link. We're going to be on Zoom for that. And people have asked if those are recorded. So my knit nights are not recorded because I want us to be able to connect authentically without worrying about some unintended person happening to catch what we're doing. So who would like to see, that was about the stitch night. So who would like to see the prizes? Let me know in the chat. I would love to know. I can't see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I have, I'm going to give away 5 prizes at the end of our Zoom. I am so excited for these. They're really awesome things. So I'm going to give you a little peek. Shoshana says me. We've got a friend's hands up. Me. All right. So let us get started with, I'll give you a little sneak peek at the prizes. So, and we have another friend with a smiley face. So there are 5 prizes, again, that I am giving away. Some of you don't know, if you haven't been around for a while, that I have a design background besides knitting and crocheting, but also design. So I design a couple of things. Last week we did another notebooks that I designed the covers of. This week we're doing notions pouches. These are little zippered pouches. They're little zipper pouches. They're great for tossing in your bag. I think there's 10 designs to pick from. So I'll show you all of those. So the winner gets to pick their choice of one of those pouches. I am also giving away 2 fluffy pom-poms. Picture didn't come out great, but they're really nice size. And they're ones that I've used on my own hats. They have strings on them because you don't want to wash. These are faux fur, You don't want to wash these, so they have little ties. Here we go. So you can just slip those through into your hat and then tie, even a bow really tight so that when you need to wash the hat, you can just untie that bow and those tags, those ties slip nice and easily through the hat. And Shoshana says, unlike my husband, I believe you can never have too many bags. So these are just, they're notions size. They're, kind of like if you think of a pencil case. So, they're not project bags. They're to keep your little things together to make it easy. If you switch project bags, you can just grab that notions bag. So the notions pouch, the fluffy pom-poms, and then I am giving away 3 of my patterns. So 1 winner for each pattern, my coterie shawl, my sequins hat, and my Brooklyn rib baby blanket. So we'll have 3 winners for those patterns. And now let us talk about some of the progress. So I didn't just grab pictures of your progress as far as actual projects that you've made, but even the planning stages, the tracking, the yarn hauls, that kind of stuff. Let's get that out of my way. Okay, I have to do that in this window. So we have, there we go. So Amy shared rebooting from work in progress and stash. And she's going to make a Doctor Who scarf for my hubby. And Millie shared a beautiful haul of yarn in very, very fun colors. And these are yarn for the 2 blankets she's making. The yellow is actually a bit more gold or orangish than it is showing in the colors. And I love those color changing yarns too. And Donna shared, I have way too many yarn skeins to choose from. To start, I have some of my bulky worsted NCK, which I plan hats, cowls, and scarf projects for Xmas projects. Stacy ordered her yarn, which is something to celebrate in itself. Sometimes I spend so long trying to find the perfect yarn for a project. So she ordered her yarn. This is just the stock picture for now. She's going to use this to make an afghan for her hubby. And Sunny has something fun on her needles, a work in progress that she shared. And I love all the different colors and speckles in her yarn. And Sonia shared a wedding sweater yarn for a wedding sweater shawl for her sister's wedding in November. I don't know if Sonia's sister also lives in Canada, but I can imagine that a bride would need something cozy and warm in Canada in November. And Kathy shared item number 1 of 11 done. It is a hug a friend for one of my physical therapists that is retiring next month. And the pattern is from Jen, is a little loopy. Pattern is actually called Hug a Monster. And this was project number 2 and number 3 in progress for Kathy. So how awesome is that? Moving right along down her list. And Jackie shared she started some mini knitting to put into baubles. And these are handmade knitting needles too. And I have seen these little swatches and little yarn balls and little needles. And I think they're a really fun gift to give. There's something special, that they're going to end up on the tree because they're so adorable. And Katha shared she made a chart of what's needed for her Handmade Holiday Challenge goals. And that inspired a sit down with her needles. And I love that. And I love that color. And I love how you're tracking off and keeping your progress. Katha also shared her Handmade Holiday Challenge finish number 2 was the Tanoke bib. It got its button during last night's party. I also wove in the ends on a dishcloth and my brioche ear warmer. That's gotten its soak and is rolled in a towel to be blocked later today. And Connie shared, I got mine started also. Thanks for the motivation. So she's got a notebook and she's keeping track as she is going. And we've got some brioche project to share with you. Progress to share with you. Jennifer shared, finally got the hang of it. Still needs to be blocked. She used a solid color and a variegated color. And I love how those kind of blend and look together. So it's a fun project. And Cheryl shared that she is back on track, and that is her A Taste of Brioche cowl pattern. So she finished hers, and I love those tonal projects for brioche. I love seeing the lights and the darks, but kind of in the same color family. And Dorothy shared, so trying to be good and use yarn from my stash, like so many of us, found a really cute headband to make for her niece, which uses pink and light blue. She found the perfect shade of pink and blue in her stash, but it is listed as a number 3, and the pattern calls for a number 1 weight yarn. Wondering just how out of whack the dimensions will be, and then thinking about maybe making a cowl instead of a headband. So my advice, Dorothy, is always, nobody likes this advice, but it is the best advice. My advice is to swatch whatever the pattern gives you, and swatch with the yarn you're going to use and the needles you're going to use, and swatch the same way that you're going to knit your project. And that means that if you are going to work your project flat, then you swatch flat. If you're going to work your project in the round, then you swatch in the round. And there's something called speed swatching, so you don't have to cut your yarn or make this big thing. So you cast on enough stitches to work the project, enough so that you can lay it flat, and then you leave long strands in the back so that your project still lays flat. And that allows you to, you'll slide your work on circular needles or double points. So that allows you to simulate knitting in the round without actually having to knit in the round. So I think a cowl might be a great choice, but if you want to kind of control the size of it, I would recommend swatching. Okay, and then we have, I shared this in an email, but I wanted to share it with you all again. Some love for my team of test knitters. There are over 70 wonderful, wonderful knitters from all around the world, and I love having the opportunity to share my projects with them before I put them out into the world in public. So if test knitting is something that you're interested in, reach out to me and I will share. And we have a friend that says the S word, swatch. And I will tell you that my tech editor who reviews my patterns and I very, very often have this conversation. And with other knitters, I have this conversation too. And we say gauge is the devil. The absolute, total, honest truth is that your gauge changes from when you knit a swatch sometimes, especially if you're knitting something big and heavy like a sweater, where there's a lot of weight on your needle. So gauge changes and you have to keep checking it. And so gauge is no fun, but swatching is important. So I have these wonderful test knitters that knit my patterns for me before they get put out into the world, because I want to make sure that the patterns that are out, that the public sees, are fun to knit, that they're enjoyable to knit, that there isn't confusing stuff happening in the pattern, because sometimes it's just a matter of rephrasing something, rewording it, that makes it so much clearer. So I'm so grateful to them, and I wanted to take a minute to share their boho waves wall hangings. Sorry, I'm used to saying ear warmers. Their boho waves wall hangings. And I absolutely fell in love with this picture that Sally shared with me. She said, loved this easy to knit and memorize pattern. Love how it looks hanging on the wall. And she used an aspen branch that her sister brought for an extra special and sentimental touch to complete her cozy beach scene. So can't you just imagine sitting on that rocking chair, pulling that blanket over you, on a chilly day? It's not, Sally's in Arizona, so it's not so chilly. And just cuddling up, with a book and coffee or tea, or you're knitting, and just that kind of serene setting. I love that she set this up, and I'm so grateful for her beautiful picture. And Sunny knit hers with a pretty speckled yarn that had been waiting in her stash for its turn to shine. And she thought this would be such a fun way to decorate her daughter's big girl room. And Sunny also shared, I've always had trouble with these types of fan or wave patterns, but you have written this so clean and neat, I have no trouble following it. And Chris picked a special I can't speak today, friends. A special skein of hand-dyed speckled yarn. Say that 3 times fast. And set to work creating a beautiful housewarming gift for her daughter's new apartment. And she said a piece of her mom will always be with her, even though they are now over 700 miles apart. So I thought that was so special. Shoshana is also one of my test knitters. And she said, if you're worried about becoming a test knitter, don't be. Jessica makes it so easy and you learn so much. I did it to boost my confidence in showing my knitting in public, and I am hooked. So that just warms my heart so much, Shoshana. Thank you for sharing that. That means so much to me. And Donna shared her boho waves in a pretty vibrant pink, and she shared, I have provisionally attached it to the rod as I totally plan to turn this into a scarf. I love the pattern. Honestly, I've never been able to knit a ripple pattern that looked right, and this one works. And Beth loved knitting her boho waves while hanging. She said, loving this pattern is clear and very intuitive. It's a delightful piece of home decor. I am planning a permanent place for this on my walls. And that was so special to hear too. So a quick reminder, and then we're going to get into the next thing I wanted to share with you. So my boho waves wall hanging pattern is available to purchase. It's on Ravelry and it's on PayHip, which is another place that I sell patterns. So if you don't like using PayPal, then PayHip is the answer. I'll put those links in the description later on today. But the pattern, the discount is only until tonight at midnight or 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So if you use the code BOHO VIP, then you can get this pattern at a discounted price, and that ends tonight. So I'll put those links in the comments for you all. But if you go to Ravelry and you search for boho waves, it should come right up. If you go to PayHip and find payhip.com/double the stitches, you'll see it there too. And that code works on either site. With PayHip, you can more easily just use a credit card without having to go through using PayPal as a source. And I know that some people love PayPal, some people don't. And so I like to have that other option for you all. Okay, just a quick sip of water. And so I have something special I wanted to share with you, and then we'll do the prize drawings at the end. So I have long been a fan of the Pickles comics. They kind of always make me chuckle a little bit. And I came across some of these Pickles comic strips that remind me of why I created something called the Stitch Society membership. If you're not familiar with it, Pickles is a daily and Sunday comic strip by Brian Crane. And the focus of the comic strip is Earl and Opal Pickles, a retired couple in their 70s. And Opal is very crafty. She says it like it is, and so does Earl. And so in this strip, Earl comes over to Opal and says, "What's that you're knitting?" And she says, "I'm not knitting anything. I'm crocheting." Knitting uses needles to form loops from one needle to the other, and crocheting uses a single hook to hook the loops together. And Earl, is frustrated and says, "You make it very hard for me to pretend I'm interested in what you're doing." And this is another of their comics. And who are you? Sorry, I don't have my glasses. Who are you knitting that scarf for? There we go. Let's see. There we go. Who are you knitting that scarf for? I am not knitting, I am crocheting. Okay, who are you crocheting that scarf for? It's not a scarf, it's a headband. Well, then who are you crocheting that headband for? He says. And she says, nobody. And now I've decided to make it a tea cozy instead. And he says, she makes it really hard to pretend I'm interested in what she's doing. And so that leaves me wondering how many of you maybe feel like you have someone in your life that doesn't really get it, or maybe you don't really have anyone in your life that gets why you're so passionate about your crafts, why they mean so much to you, the difference between knitting and crocheting, the difference between, say a yarn over and a knit two together. My husband teases me. He says that it's like when he looks at my patterns, he says, are you sure that's not like chess moves and stuff? And they're wonderful and they're supportive and they're encouraging. And I don't have that relationship where I have to take my yarn and I have to go hide it, leave it in the trunk of the car until nobody's awake and sneak it into the house. But even though, I have a warm and supportive family, they still don't really get it. Nobody really gets it like other crafters, other knitters, other crocheters. And so that had me thinking that I I wanted to build something special. I wanted to build a community. I wanted there to be a group that I could go to when I was working on something and I could be celebrated and I could celebrate others, and where everyone kind of knows each other, where I'm not posting into, a group of 10,000, of 20,000, or even more, where you never know what kind of advice you're going to get. You never know if your posts are going to be received warmly. Um, Yes. Oh, we have someone who says, "Oh, my husband would appreciate that chess moves comment. Like ours is a secret code or language." It is though, I think, in a sense. Um, and so, that do you speak knitting or do you speak crocheting? And I recently saw a shirt that said it had a picture of a chart, and above it it said, "If you can read this, let's be friends." And I that made me smile because I could read it, and anyone who can't, or doesn't at least recognize what it is, it kind of weeds out those people that, that don't understand. So I wanted to invite you into my Stitch Society membership. And I have this special invitation for you. And the cart is now open. It's going to be open for about 10 days. And I wanted to share kind of what's included and all of that with you all. And so I built this tight-knit community where you can enjoy. That's when I ask Stitch Society members, what do they love about it? They love the companionship, they love the camaraderie. And so your new favorite yarny friends are waiting to welcome you inside the membership. And there's so much stuff included, and I'm going to talk you through all of it. So every month you get a free pattern from me as part of your membership. You will get, most of the time it will be a brand new pattern. Occasionally there will be a code or an ability to pick a different pattern from my collection. I just published pattern number 46, so there's quite a bunch to choose from. So you get a pattern every month, and that's an $8 value. You get monthly private coffee chats or stitch sessions, we also call them. So we gather together on Zoom. We have a knit night or a knit afternoon, and that's twice a month. I also offer priority pattern support. So if there is something special, something that you are struggling with, that you need help with, especially if it's one of my patterns, you kind of jump to the front of the line. And sometimes that is, a quick response from me on something. I try to always respond to questions quickly. I don't honestly get a lot of questions because my patterns are thoroughly tested and they're professionally tech edited. But sometimes there's just, a technique that's new to you. And so I always do my best to give everyone pattern support as best as I can. But if I have a few emails waiting to hear from me, then Stitch Society members get first dibs on my available time. Sometimes it has meant, for Rochelle, she was struggling with knitting a repeat on a pattern of socks. And so I made a video for her to show her how to work that repeat. And she was struggling with, or not, it was a new technique to her, doing a folded hem on a sweater. She had never done that before. So I worked a part of the pattern. I made a video for her to show her exactly what to do step by step. And we have Fiber Friends interviews and events. So once a month, I bring in a special guest, one of my favorite people from the fiber world. And we've had such amazing, wonderful guests. We've had Dawn from Twice Share Cheap. We've had Carrie from The Spinning Hand. We've had Erin from Crafty Housewife Yarns. We have had Jen Parasini came to talk to us. She's a fellow designer. And Erin Clayton of Erin Designs, she also joined us, another designer. And I chatted with my friend Brenda, who's also another designer. You might see a trend there. They're not all designers, but Brenda was going through, something especially difficult as a designer, where she was struggling to find her knitting mojo. So she came and she talked about what that experience has been like for her. And we had Linda and Chris joined us from Eagle Bend Alpaca Farm, and so we learned what they were up to. And we've had just a wonderful group of friends, and it's so nice. We had Jonathan from the Blue U, who sells those knitting cords, knit keeper cords, he calls them. He just opened a yarn shop in West Virginia, I believe. So he came, and we were one of the first people to know that news. He shared that with us and talked a little bit what that experience has been like, opening a yarn store. How many of you have dreamed of opening your own yarn store? So we also have more things included. So I just did a taste of brioche as a workshop, and I have a sock workshop planned for later in the year. And so when you join as a Stitch Society member, future mini workshops are included in your membership price. So you'll get a free a ticket from me to attend that workshop, or access for as long as you are an active member. You also get member-only voting power. I was working on a design for a cowl for a collaboration that's coming up, and I was debating about the stitch pattern. I wasn't sure about it, and so I posted in our group, and I asked the members, the Stitch Society members, what their thoughts were about it. And so it was great to get feedback from people who are familiar with my patterns, and also, what they would like to work on as a type of a project. You also get early access to pattern tester calls for my knit and crochet patterns. And we have an exclusive members only Facebook community group. So it's a small, tight knit group. We have celebrated births. We have cheered each other on. We have been there for each other through some difficult health issues, members issues, or family supported through family issues. And so it's just a nice place. I like to say it's a little bit like Cheers. It's, where everyone knows your name. And so I also wanted to build a place. I call it our membership hub, or our classroom. And that is where you can find content. You can find recordings of the Fiber Friends chats. You can find a lot of tools and resources. And I'll share that classroom with you later on in a different video. But I'll kind of walk you through and show you what it's like once you join, and you can request pattern support in there. And the calendar for our stitch sessions, our Zoom knit afternoons or nights, is in there too. And I'm not done yet. You also get, when you join this this week, you get 3 bonus workshops with on-demand access. There is the Beginner's Guide to Lace and Knitting. There is Conquer Cable Knitting. If you've ever wanted to learn how to knit reversible cables, this is the one for you. And the Oops workshop, which is probably my most favorite thing to teach, because it really truly empowers you to be more confident in your knitting and to try new things that maybe you haven't tried before, so that you can learn to fix a dropped stitch, so that you can learn to correct, if you made a decrease and knit 2 together instead of a slip slip knit, and now it leans in the wrong direction, and how to fix if you dropped your yarn over, how to fix if you accidentally made a yarn over. So it goes over all of those different things. You'll also get access to my A Taste of Brioche workshop, and later this year we're going to do socks step by step, which is a $50 per workshop value. So when you add that all up, it's $317 in value in just the workshops alone. And you also get treated to an ongoing discount on yarn and needles at the Spinning Hand, which is run and owned by my dear friend, Carrie Capone. And so members have a special code that they can use, and her prices are wonderful to begin with. And then she was so happy to offer this additional discount to Stitch Society members. And that's on the yarn and needles. She also does kits and subscriptions, so the discount is not on those, but it is on the rest of the things that she sells. So let's do some quick math, friends. When you add it all up, you've got a pattern every month, for instant yarny inspiration, right? And that value is currently $8 per month. Some of my patterns are going up in price in the near future. You get 2 monthly private stitch sessions on Zoom, $20 per month. You have access to unlimited Zoom chats. This is something I recently added where I have a Zoom that's always open that members are always welcome to use at any time. So they can message each other, email each other, post in the group and say, hey, I'm free, this day and time. Anyone want to join me? And so you can get together on Zoom. It's not recorded. It's not published anywhere, but you can have that opportunity if for anyone who would like to do that outside of the 2 Zoom chats with me. So this is in addition to that. And you get priority pattern support. If I was going to charge that or, offer that as an upgrade, that would be $15 per month. And you get access to my Fiber Friends interviews and events, which would be $15 per month if I was charging for attendance. You don't just get the future ones, you get access to all of the ones. We're about a year and a half into the membership, and I've done one a month. So there's plenty of content to watch. It's nice and fun to watch while you are working on your projects and see what other people, in the fiber world are doing. And there's also a Stitch and Technique library that you get access to. And that's where I put different tutorials. I just put recently a tutorial for a garter tab cast on. So it's a fun, with instructions. So you can kind of just cast on your own shawl without having to find the perfect pattern and just knit kind of simple or put your own stitches in there, and different cast on methods and other tips and tricks and how to use Ravelry like a designer. We have some training for that in the group, but I have extra trainings for our members, how I use it. So when we add that all up, we're looking at $88 in value per month. So of course, you might be wondering, but how much is this going to cost? So the membership was going to go up to $27 per month or $270 per year. But I decided I'm going to keep it lower than that for you all. So we're not going to jump up to the $27 per month or $270 per year. I have 3 different ways that you can join. So instead of 27, it is just $21 a month. I don't hold anything back for the longer term memberships. You just get a better price. So when you join at $21 a month, you still get access to everything. Everything isn't, an all access pass. So everything is included at the $21 per month. I also have an option. Some people wanted, to save a little bit. So that gives you at, where are we? Let's make that bigger. So if you want to split your payments and do it every 6 months, then you can save approximately 10%, and it is $115 every 6 months. And that's like getting 1 free month every year. The best price is the annual rate. That is $210 per year. And it's a prepay. These are prepay. So you won't get billed again for a whole year. You will save 20%. It's also like getting 2 months free every year. So that is the pricing. And I wanted to share, Shoshana shared in the comments. She said, I waited for a while to join, and now I'm wondering why I waited. It's a wonderful group. So that means so much to me, Shoshana. Thank you for that. And Sonia joined us from Ontario. And I'm glad that you're able to make it to join us. So I also wanted to share what some other current Stitch Society members love about being part of the membership. They wrote me such beautiful messages, and I wanted to share those with you. So Jen said, Jessica gives us the resources to excel in our fiber journey, beautiful knitters to share with, and a small community. Plus, you get a pattern to add to your ever-growing pattern stash. I highly recommend it. And Margot said, it is so much fun to connect with others who share a passion for knitting and that want to share their knowledge and expertise. Jessica gives her all to make this group a fun and valuable resource for members. So glad I found it. And Sunny says, Jessica is one of the sweetest people I know, full of great information, encouragement, tips, and patterns. She's willing to find us resources. I love being a part of this group. It is so special. And this is Francis. It was such a lovely letter. It made me cry when I read it the first time, and I might get a little misty here as we go, but I wanted to share it with you. And Francis says, you've done an amazing job providing a much needed community and continuing to inspire knitters. You are so kind and so sweet, and it comes through so clearly in everything you do. I've done a lot of classes, retreats, etc., but I truly feel that you have done more to improve my knitting than anything else. And then she said, your patterns are so clear and easy to follow. I've been able to finally transition over to knitting with charts, and it's made a world of difference. It's reduced the counting and often helps to prevent mistakes while also helping me to recognize and correct them much sooner. You've been such a blessing. And we have a question. Yes, you'll post this video later. Yes, so the video is being recorded, so you can come back and watch it at any time. So when we add it all up, the value of everything in a year of Stitch Society membership is $1,100, $1,100. And you might be saying, holy cow, that is a lot of stuff for just $21 a month. And I wanted to take a quick second and I wanted to talk to you about that, because one of the questions I get is this real? And how, why are you offering it at this rate? And why are, how do you make a profit at that? And so if you've ever bought like a bundle of things, maybe a bundle of classes, or a discount on a sweater quantity of yarn, we could even compare it to a little bit. So by signing up and having that monthly payment, um, allows me to offer it to you at this fabulous price. It is something that is so special to me. One of my passions is helping other knitters, helping them learn, helping them build their confidence, build their skills. And having that community aspect is so, so important to me as part of my business. It gives me that, you know, that those warm and fuzzy feelings, when you post as a business, when you post on a Facebook page, or you post on, Instagram or any other social media, you get crickets a lot of times, or you get a couple of likes, but there's no community. There's not really that feedback. And so having this warm and welcoming community where we all speak the language of yarn, we know what the difference is between a skein and a ball of yarn, and we know that there are different weights of yarn. So if I said to you, I bought this beautiful skein of worsted weight yarn, you have a clear picture in your head of what that actually means. You won't know the color, but I would share that with you. um, and we know the difference between knitting and crocheting, and we know the difference between, different stitches. We know the difference between lace and cables and what those different things are. And we have a lifelong love of learning. I think that's true for so many crafters, for so many knitters and crocheters. That lifelong love of learning is an important thing to me. That is one of the things I love most about knitting for myself, is that there's always something new to learn or something new to try. Maybe it's a different way of doing a stitch that you've done 100 times before, and maybe this suddenly makes it easier. And so I love that lifelong learning so much, and it means so much to have that opportunity to share that with others. And so that is a lot of what the membership is about, and being able to have that connection with others where you're not one name in a sea of 20,000 members, but it's that close knit relationship where what's going on in each other's lives. We get together a couple of times a month, and we have this group where we can connect as well. So you can, with this 6-month plan, you can save a little bit on the monthly price, or you can also get the best deal with the annual membership. One of the sayings that I say quite a lot in our group is that friends don't let friends stitch alone. Knitting and crocheting and working in community, I think, helps to it just helps us so much mentally, I think. It can be such a solitary thing, knitting or crocheting alone, especially if you have no one really in your own life. And it means so much to be able to share what we do with others who actually appreciate it. So if you are ready to become a member, you can head over to doublethestitches.com/stitch society, and you can read all about everything that is part of membership. I try to talk a lot about it. I'm going to host a Q&A session, but if you have questions before then, send me a message, reach out, let me know what you're wondering. I'm happy to have a chat with you. If you have a lot of questions, and maybe those are difficult to answer, we can even, hop on a Zoom and I'll share my calendar booking link with you. So that is the link, doublethestitches.com/stitch society. And now what many of you, I think, have been waiting for is the giveaways. I'm going to take a quick sip and then we will move on to the Handmade Holiday Challenge giveaways. All right, all better with the water. So, who's ready for giveaways? We're going to use my fancy schmancy wheel of names. If you haven't seen it yet, it is one of my most favorite things to do. So I've tallied up um, all of your entries from the Handmade Holiday Challenge. And these are all cumulative. And if you feel like you're struggling, um, don't feel behind. I am going to probably tomorrow share about, we're going to play bingo. And so it's kind of anyone's game for the grand prize drawings, which will be next Monday on Zoom. So that is, those prizes are fabulous. And I'm really excited about those prizes, but these are awesome too. So keep working, keep making sure that you've done the things in the group guide, all of the different challenge tasks. There's a lot of different ways to earn ballots towards the giveaways. And the first prize today is your choice of a Made for Makers Notions pouch. So the one, there's one that says Friends Don't Let Friends Stitch Alone. That is exclusive for Stitch Society members only. But there are all these other designs that you have your choice to pick one. And I hope that you'll love them as much as I love creating them. And so some of them, are kind of generic, whether you are a knitter or crocheter. So you'll just let me know which one you would like. And let us share the wheel of names. And I love this because I get to feel a little bit like a game show host. So I put all the names in there. I shuffled them up. They're all on the wheel. So for each ballot that you get, your name goes on an additional time. So let's spin the wheel for the first prize, which is your choice of a Made for Makers Zippered Notions pouch. Shauna, yay! I'm so glad because you are here, you are watching, and that is the best thing ever, is when someone is actually here to see their name get drawn. So I'm going to write your name down, and I will reach out to you. Okay, congratulations, Shoshana. All right, so that was the Notions pouch. And we're going to share this tab instead. Okay, so that was prize number 1. We still have 4 more prizes to go. And the next prize is perfect for your handmade gifts. You get to win 2 fluffy faux fur pom-poms. One is gray and one is kind of tan. So they'll go with any of the yarn colors that you're using. And I'm going to pick a winner. So the one winner will get both of the faux fur pom-poms. So let's Share the tab with the wheel of names, and let's draw a winner. Congratulations, Donna. I'm not sure if you are here watching, but I will reach out to you and you win the palm. Congratulations. All right, quick screenshot of that, and I'm going to remove her. So congratulations, Donna, on winning the pom-poms. All right, so now I'm going to draw winners for the patterns. These three they're all knitting patterns. I know we have some in our group who only crochet. If you happen to win a pattern and you don't knit, I will happily offer you. I have 3 crochet patterns published. I have a tote bag, I have a scarf, and I have a cowl. And so I'll send you a link to those. If you don't knit, you can pick which one of those 3 patterns that you would like. So let us go back to the wheel of names. And we're going to pick a winner for the coterie shawl. That's that golden yellow shawl. That was my pattern that I designed for the local Yarn Store Day promotion that I do. That was last year's pattern, but it has been, I think, my absolute best-selling pattern of all of the things I've ever designed. And I've seen a few people posting recently in the group. So let us spin the wheel for the coterie shawl knitting pattern. Sunny. Congratulations, Sunny. I know you were on earlier. I don't know if you're still on. So, yes. So congratulations, Sunny. You won my coterie shawl knitting pattern. The next pattern, yay, I'm so excited. Congratulations. Oh, Shoshana commented, yay, thank you. And I am so excited. I'm so happy that you're here to watch. So the next giveaway pattern is my sequins hat pattern. And this pattern it was part of a subscription box from the Spinning Hand. It is not currently available to purchase. It is my Stitch Study members have exclusive access to it. I'm going to release it early in the fall, I think, as people start thinking more about knitting patterns. Unless you guys love the pattern, let me know, and then maybe I'll release it sooner. So you can pick it up and work on it with work on it sooner for your handmade gifts. So the beautiful thing about this pattern is that it's just created with knits and purls, and it shows the difference that one stitch makes. Just by changing the stitch count by 1 stitch, it turns into this beautiful swirling, it changes the sequence of your stitches and it creates this beautiful swirl pattern. So I am going to switch to our wheel of names. And okay, let's draw a winner for the sequins hat pattern. And this one goes to Debbie. So Debbie, I will reach out to you because you are a Stitch Society member, so you just received this pattern recently. So I will reach out to you and you can pick any of my other patterns that you would like to knit. So congratulations, Debbie. I'm so happy that you won. And we have someone says, can't wait to try that pattern. All right, so now let me just show you. So the last pattern giveaway, our last pattern of this week's giveaways is my Brooklyn Rib Baby Blanket pattern. And it comes in a whole bunch of different sizes, and it is a simple knit, but it's kind of fun to knit. It's wonderful for social knitting. It's wonderful for TV or movie watching. You could, if you're someone who has the ability, you could probably knit this and read a book at the same time. You could definitely binge, watch some podcasts or YouTube videos or any of those things. So this is the Brooklyn Rib knitting pattern. It's great for beginners. It was one of my first blanket, I think it was might be actually my first blanket pattern that I published, and one of the ways that I kind of got into designing. And it's something that I then re-released because I added more sizes to it and spiffed it up a bit. So this was a fun one. It's knit with worsted weight yarn, so it makes a quick project too. So let's share that wheel of names, and we're going to pick our last winner for today for the Brooklyn Rib Baby Blanket. I love watching it go around. Where it stops, nobody knows. And that goes to Kathy Heiser. All right, there we go. I'd just like to take a screenshot so I make sure that I contact the correct people. Okay, so that is all of our prize drawings for today. There were 5 prizes today. Next week, next Monday, we're going to have a knit night again, and I'm going to do the prize drawings and all of that we'll be on Zoom together. So I'm going to send that link out to everyone that's on my email list. If you are not on my email list, you can go to doublethestitches.com and scroll down, and there's a place to sign up for my email list, and you'll also get a discount. And we have, this is the first time I joined you. How do you enter the drawing? That's a great question. So the prizes are for the Handmade Holiday Challenge, which is an event that's happening in the Facebook group right now. There's plenty of time to still catch up. I'm going to do a bingo that's going to give everyone lots of points for marking off the things that they have done during the challenge. And it is you can watch the videos. There's a guide to help you find. You can sign up for the challenge emails by going to doublethestitches.com/challenge. And the idea behind it was that we were going to go from procrastination to progress in just 3 weeks. So we are not expecting that you're going to knit or crochet all of your holiday gifts in 3 weeks. That would be impossible. The idea is to start thinking about it in advance, to start planning, to start figuring out who you're making for, what you're making for them, to start sourcing the yarn and the patterns and really get yourself organized, and to start early so that it can be something that you enjoy doing instead of something where you are staying up till midnight, Christmas Eve or the day before Hanukkah, where you are not weaving in the ends like I very often do in the car on the way to visit family, or like my friend Anjanette, hiding in the back bedroom, weaving in the ends so that her family member that she was about to gift something to would have a finished product. So don't stay in the back bedroom and finish your project. Don't finish it on the way to the party. Start now and give yourself plenty of time until you can look for all of that within the group. So, and we have a friend that says thanks. So again, if you are interested in joining the Stitch Society, I'll put that link up for you one more time. And let me just share that. All right, so this is the page that has all of the information, all of the details about joining the Stitch Society, which is my private paid membership, my exclusive community that is warm and welcoming and inviting, and your new Yarny friends are waiting to greet you inside. And I really hope that you do consider joining. The doors will be open until I think it was next Thursday. It's about 10 days. And I would love to have you join us inside the membership. If you have questions or anything, please reach out to me anytime. You can send me a message on Facebook. You can respond to my emails. And, I would love to chat with you. There's also a little chat bot on my website where you can easily send me a message, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. So thank you so, so much for spending this part of your day with me. I am so looking forward to all of the things going on. I'm going to have a full Q&A about the Stitch Society later this week, and I'll share that information with you too, so that I can answer any questions that you might have. I get a lot of questions, and I like to make sure that I share all the information I can, and so that everyone that considering joining has all the information that they need to make that choice. So that decision. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, friends, and keep sharing your progress in the group on the Handmade Holiday Challenge, on any patterns, any projects of mine, especially. I love seeing those. And on for our brioche workshop students, the hat pattern is coming on Wednesday. All right. Take care, friends. I will talk to you all soon. And someone says being a testator is a fabulous way to work gifts throughout the year. And such fun. Got more of my swatch knit. Fabulous. Enjoy your day. All right, friends. Reach out if you need me. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.